Welcome back to another video, and if you're into Hugs World, and we have the Gear S3 that we're going to review today. Took me a long while to get this. I mean, every time I've seen it, when I didn't get it right away, when I come back to try to order it, it was gone, both on Amazon and Best Buy. So if you see this, get it. I'm going to leave a couple of links in the description down below where you guys can go check it out, try to order it for yourself if you're liking this video about the Gear S3. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this and take a closer look at the Gear S3. Now, I've heard many stories about it, and this has got to be nice. Let's take out the tab. All right. Get rid of that. Same type of presentation, round box. Let's pull out the temporary unboxing knife. Just temporary. We got another one. Another tab. All right. Let's go ahead and open this puppy up. Wow. Display is different this time. Now it has a real elegant look. I'm liking this. That is nice. All right. Let's go ahead and take this off. Now I got the Gear S Classic. Is what I got this time around. I'm not really into the LTE thing. That's not me. And I think I'll go ahead and get the Bluetooth one. Okay, now, this is the way this one came out the box, guys. This is different. Already unwrapped. You see me unbox it. I don't know what's going on. And I guess they're going to give me a couple of extra bands to go with it. Of course, I don't know what happened here. Hopefully this unit is a good unit. But you've seen for yourself, guys. Okay. So this is the USB. This is the charging cord for it. And this is the wireless charger. Sits on there like that. Pretty nice. Now, let's find out where the other band is. Only got one band, guys. Let's go on with this video. This here's the power brick. Looks like this. I suggest that if you got one, use the one that goes with the watch. All right. And of course, you have a booklet in here. Okay, so don't throw this away. If you're using the Gear S3 for the very first time, it's your very first smartwatch, you don't want to throw this away. Now, I don't know, guys. Did this fly off somewhere? It's gone. Okay. So definitely this is going back, but we'll go ahead and do the review and check out the hardware. Okay, I'm back. But before we get started, let me let you know where I bought this from, and then we're going to talk about the specs, and then we're going to go ahead and dive off into this review. I bought this off of BestBuy.com. You can also get this from Amazon.com, and it was a hard find. So if you find it and you see it, buy it. Now, I didn't get the Frontier. I didn't get the Gear S3 Frontier because I don't leave my phone anywhere. But if you want that one, then check out that one. I got the Gear S3 Classic. I love this stainless steel look on this watch. It's one of the reasons why I chose it. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about the specs and dive off into this review. This is Bluetooth 4.2. You have Wi-Fi capability. You also have NFC if you're going to use Samsung Pay. We'll talk about that later. You have MST. You also have a GPS on board, which is desperately needed on all smartwatches for a more accurate reading of your step counts, your run, and your exercising. So I'm loving that. It has a 1.3 circular Super AMOLED display. It also has 360 by 360 resolution with a pixel per inch 278. Very nice, very sharp. It has an always on display. It has Gorilla Glass SR Plus, which is the new type of glass by Gorilla Glass. and is rated IP68 for water and dust resistant, and you have a speaker on it this time. Yes, a speaker, guys. That means I can answer phone calls, I can listen to music. We back to super convenience now. It weighs 57 grams. The OS is Tizen base. You have 4 gigabytes of memory. You have 768 megabytes of RAM. The sensors, you have a accelerometer, you have the gyroscope, and you also have the barometer. But what I want to talk about most is the battery. The battery is 380 milliamp hour battery, which is a huge jump from the Gear S2. And you have wireless charging. Now, Samsung is saying that you can get 3 days off of a single use. That remains to be seen. I'm thinking from my experience with wearing this watch for a couple of days, I'm going to say that you're probably going to get closer to 2.5 than 3. And that's based off of use. That's based off of what you have on. Do you have the always on display on? Is your NFC on? Are you using Samsung Pay? How much are you playing with your watch? But all in all, however, you're still going to get great usage out of this smartwatch. Okay, you guys ready? Let's check out the watch. Here it is. This is a thing of beauty. I'm loving this. Samsung has definitely gotten down with this. What I like about it most is that these ridges that's on the side that I really didn't like on the Gear S2 has been blended in with the color of the casing, which is silver. It's a silver casing, feels really solid, has nice weight to it as well, and it gives it a good look. I like the character of what they, added on the inside of the bezel. Blends in with the display very nicely, and it gives it a nice look. Now you have your traditional lugs again. I'm glad Samsung kept with that. The band is easy to take off, and Samsung is the one that set this band up. It's the first band I've seen like this, and then everybody else adopted it, which is pretty cool. Makes it convenient to get this watch band off. Now, what I'm not liking about the watch band is that it's super thick and it's super stiff. So I'm going to definitely have to buy another watch band. I'm not feeling this one. The watch still feels good on my wrist, but you could feel a slight uncomfortableness because of the thickness and the stiffness of this band. The watch is also a little thicker, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. But all in all, this is definitely a good look. Now, they've added the speaker, which I don't know why they took it away, period. This is a good feature to have on any smartwatch. You get your mic right here. Now, one of the things that I like about having a speaker is that I can answer phone calls. I can also listen to my music. I can add Bluetooth to this to listen to my music. So if I want to go for a run or I'm doing workout in the yard, I can leave my phone in the house and I can just pair up my Bluetooth to this device. So I'm liking this. I'm liking what Samsung did. Now, I played with this watch a little bit. There's so many features and functions that if I miss any, I try to bring it up in another video. But Samsung has packed a lot of conveniences. So if you're into, let's say, exercising, this is the watch for you. Okay. Now, they're missing an opportunity so far as the women is concerned, because now they kept it one size fits all. And you're not going to get a lot of your women buyers to buy this because they're looking for something just a little bit more dainty. But all in all, for the guys, I'm loving it. Very nice. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the UI and see if anything changed and see what Samsung has done. Now, the rotating bezel still works the same. Now, you can either rotate or you can swipe, whichever one you decide to do. Me personally, I'll be swiping all day. I'm used to swiping. So the bezel can be convenient at some points. But if you rotate to the left, these are all your notifications. So any notifications that you get in, you're going to find here. So if you want to respond or you want to look at your text message, email, phone calls, you go here, you tap the 3 dots there. You have an opportunity to go to your phone. You can respond. Now, if I hit respond, you can either use the mic, you can use the emojis right here, which has tons and tons of emojis. Hit the back button. You can also type or write out your messages right here. Very super convenient. Now this setup is a lot better than what you would see on Android Wear. So definitely I'm gonna probably end up keeping this. I'm loving this. So yes, you see how I'm swiping? I'm used to swiping. So to the right, what I'm loving about this, guys, is widgets. Widgets are needed on every smartwatch. Makes it convenient for you to get to your favorite applications. This is my favorite. I got my music right next to my watches. And yes, I can add any widgets. You got your weather that's needed, call reminder, you have your calories burned, you have your step information, you got everything you need, and you can add more if you choose. Just hit the plus button there, and you can go in and you can add whichever ones you want to add. Okay, so let's go back and check out the watch faces. Now the watch faces, you just do a long press. For those who have not seen this before, ooh, that changed the color. Wow, we have to get that back. Okay, these are the watch faces. So you go to the watch faces and choose which one you want. And if you want to get more, you tap here and you can go right into their Gear Manager store and get more. Right here. And the downloading process is super quick. I mean, super quick, guys. You will not be waiting long at all. You can put your wrist down and your watch face will be downloaded in seconds. Okay, so let's see if we can get this watch face back. So what I do, long press. Wow. And you can change the color. I didn't know that about this watch face. So we're going to leave it on the orange. And so now what I want to take a look at is the app drawer. But before we go into the app drawer, those of you all who use Samsung Pay, now the convenience has been raised. So you just long press, Samsung Pay comes up, you put it up to the magnetic strip or the NFC, and your items are paid for. Now, if you tap on the actual app, it's going to take you into it's going to prompt you what to do. You just go through and it helps you to set up Samsung Pay for the very first time on your phone. And after that's paired and everything, now you're good to go. I can't wait to use this. And yes, I'm loving it. Now, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the applications. Now, this is your app drawer. Again, you can use the rotating bezel or you can use your finger, but you can land on any application like your phone, your message, recent apps, or if you want to just go to them quickly, just tap on that little circle there and it takes you to all of them. And you see you have Spotify, you got, this is YouTube, you got Yelp. I mean, Samsung has added so many different and useful applications in this watch this time around that makes it really, really hard not to buy. And you can get this, like if you want your screen to be smudge free and you don't want to touch it, and this is the reason why you bought it. We're going to go into the settings because you can set this to where once you land on whatever application you want to land on, you let it stay right there for a second. And in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, it'll go ahead and go into the application. You do not have to tap the window at all in order for that application to come up. So we'll take a look at that. So let's go ahead. Let's look off into the settings. I'm going to tap here to get to it quickly. And here's the settings right here. Let me go back. I'm working behind the camera. Now here, where you see styles, you go in here, you can get your watch faces from here. You want to add them. And you have you're always on, you can change. Let me use the bezel. You have your notification indicator. You have your background style. So if you want to change the background style to a different color, just go here. You tap it. Let's go back and take a look and see what it looks like. So now it's blue. Okay. Let's go back off into the settings and let's go back to where we were. Now you guys side, well, let me go into style. Okay. Your notifications, background, you got your fonts you can change. and you have your sound and vibrations. You have your device. Now, the device you do want to go into, it's got a lot of important functions and features in here. So now, if you want to get to any application really quick, like double tap on the back button, you can have your music player come up, any application you want to come up, YouTube, Yelp. All you got to do is set it, and once you set it, you just double tap, and it'll go straight to that application. Okay, you got your wake up gesture, which I suggest that you keep that on, because what that does is when you lift your wrist up to see the time, it's going to cut on. And you have touch sensitivity, which ladies, I'm quite sure you're looking for this one, and guys. So if you got your gloves on and you want to still use this watch, all you have to do is set this up, hit the check mark right here, and you're good to go. Samsung has added some great features into this watch this time, and I'm loving it. I don't know if it was in the Gear S2. I didn't see it when I had it, but definitely it's welcome on the Gear S3. And you have Do Not Disturb, and you have the Auto Open app. Now, that's the application I was telling you about that'll help you to keep your Windows smudge free. You use this, set up that Open Application app, and once you land on it, you wait a couple of seconds for the application you want to go into, and it'll automatically open it. Okay? And that's pretty much almost it. You got your display. You got the calls you can set up. So if you want to auto answer, you can use your voice to answer it. And you can set up your messages. You got connections. So you have Bluetooth as well as Wi-Fi. Now the Wi-Fi automatically connected. I didn't have to do anything. Don't know why that was, but that's the way it's set up. And then you have NFC that's going to be on because I use Samsung Pay. And the battery life does not suffer, so do not worry about it draining your battery before you get home. You're going to have tons of battery life left. And then you have your alerts that you can change and set up. You got airplane mode. You can put your watch in, and you can set up your location, whether for you want it on or you want it off. And that's pretty much it, guys, for the Galaxy Gear S3. What do you think? First, the look. The look is great. Overall, nice weight. They got down on the design. The only bad flaw is the band. They could have did better with the band for as much money as we spent on this watch. But all in all, yes, this is definitely a beast. This is the bar that is set for Apple and Android Wear. So hit me in the comment section down below and let me know what you think. Is this watch a beast or not? Okay, now before we go, I want you to take a look at the application. So once you pair this watch to the Gear Manager, which you have to download off of the Google Play Store, once you get it set up, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the phone when you set the watch up, when you pair the watch up to your phone. Okay, guys, this is what it looks like when you finally pair everything up. Your application will show up under your Gear Manager, and it's going to look like this. And these are some of the things you can get to. Like, these are your watch faces, the ones you've downloaded and the ones that are natively on here. And what I like about this most is that it sends it right over really, really quick. So if I tap like that, it's going to change really, really quickly, and I'm loving this about this watch. It wastes no time getting there. There you go. So that's one of the features that you can tap into, as well as your notifications. You can go in here and customize whether you want notifications to show up, and you have your apps. You can reorder them. You can uninstall from here. Just tap, hit the check mark, and uninstall, and then you have send. This is what you want to go into. Now, if you want to send your music from your phone to your watch, all you do is tap here. You check off any of the ones you want, or you select all, and this is going to send this over to your smartwatch. You got 4 gigabytes of memory, way more than enough to store all your music. Okay, and you can also send your pictures over as well. All you gotta do is select photos, and then send your photos over to the watch, which is super convenient. And yes, I'm loving this feature. Another thing you can do, you guys send SOS requests, which I'll probably never use, so you guys can go ahead and dive into that and check that out. But I'm liking that I can find my watch straight from here. It's going to make the watch ring, so therefore I can find it. And once I find it, just cut it off. Now you have Find My Gear on the watch as well. So once you go into the application, you can find your phone if you lost your phone straight from your watch. Okay, you got quick messages you can set up. You got your gear connection, S-Health, Samsung Pay. If you want to set up your Samsung Pay for your smartwatch, you can do it straight from here. Okay, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative, and if it was, please make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please go ahead, subscribe to my channel. And as always, I will see you all at the next video. Take care.
Favorite smartwatch. In the comments of our recent videos and podcasts, the most recommended replacement was this gadget here. And I've finally been able to take Samsung's Gear S3 Frontier for a spin. Samsung's smartwatch evolution has been interesting to observe, watching experiments with cameras and home buttons to outright putting a mini phone on your wrist. The Frontier takes what we liked about the Gear S2 and refines it. This gear wears a lot more like a traditional timepiece, and will be appreciated by folks who enjoy a larger, bolder watch body. Another personal aspect of this review, I'm not currently using a Samsung phone as my daily driver. Now, the setup process for the Frontier isn't painful, but there are several apps necessary to install before you can use the watch on a different manufacturer's phone. This is a lot more involved than setting up an Android Wear or Pebble Watch, for instance, as you'll be tied into Samsung services like S-Health. The construction on the Frontier is fantastic, excellent build quality. This is maybe the best wearable hardware I've ever handled. Mind you, I'm coming from a plastic Pebble as my daily timepiece, but often using a Huawei watch to check out Android Wear, the Frontier feels a lot less like a gadget. It doesn't broadcast its geekery nearly as much as past Samsung efforts. And this is the best AMOLED screen I've personally used on a watch. It doesn't handle direct sun as well as e-paper or digital ink solutions, but it's well readable in bright conditions. It almost passes the SoCal driving test where, at an angle, reflections can still be troublesome. Though the battery-saving option of disabling the screen means you'll have to move your hand off the steering wheel to see content, but more on that later. Getting into the watch operation, two buttons on the side are used as a back and home button. The latter also doubles as the app drawer shortcut when on the main watch face. The dial around the screen turns to navigate through pinned applets to the right and notifications to the left, and then the touchscreen can be used to swipe or pull down a status shade. The Gear S3 is refined, but it still very much continues the notion that a smartwatch should perform like a mini phone on your wrist. I'd prefer Samsung move to a 3-button layout, giving us a selection button. There's a tactile disconnect between using this great clicky wheel and then smudging up the screen to make a selection, or hitting these small 3-dot menus wedged to the side of a circle. The ability to navigate fully through hardware would be appreciated, maybe even disabling the touchscreen at times, like when my baby daughter gets her hands on it. The Frontier is running Tizen, Samsung's in-house software, and performance is terrific. The watch easily slides through applets and notifications. I can't recall any instances of lag or unresponsiveness, which is critical as there's a lot going on. Navigation isn't difficult, but it takes a while to program the muscle memory for where every feature, setting, and option live. Checking heart rate, for example. From the main watch face, you hit the bottom button, and click wheel to S-Health, where you touch the screen to activate. Then click wheel 5 menus over to the heart rate section, and then it'll take a reading. This is phone-grade software, and the Gear routinely rides that line between functionality and time. It's impressive that we can do this much from a watch, but many of these interactions would be faster from your phone. Further complicating matters, Samsung doesn't really fully support other phones. Notifications are delivered and calls are alerted, but any action or reply you take will be sent back to your phone. Want to reply to a message using speech to text? Nope. Can't do that on my Mate 9. Throughout my week using it, I continually had the sense that I was missing notifications, that they were delayed somehow, glancing down at the watch only to see that 5 alerts had arrived, that I either didn't feel the vibrations or that they were all sent in one batch. That also seemed to hold true for the Bluetooth alert. One of my biggest frustrations with Android Wear, it doesn't notify when it loses the Bluetooth connection. The Gear will, but it could sometimes take well over a minute, just enough time, for example, to accidentally leave my phone somewhere and make it to my car. Not the most consistent leash function. Lastly, Samsung advertises an always-on display and up to 3 days of battery life. You just can't have both at the same time. Individually, each statement is true, but if you want that runtime, you need to disable the screen. The frustrating aspect of having to perform a gesture to see the time somewhat defeats the convenience of wearing a watch. That said, with the screen auto-dimming, we easily reached 3 full days with moderate use, notifications, and a couple workouts. So let's wrap this up. Where does that leave us with the Samsung Gear S3 Frontier? Man, I love this hardware, but the recommendation on this watch requires 2 critical issues be discussed. First, this is a tough recommendation if you don't own a Samsung phone. The experience is hamstrung when tackling notifications and calls, and you pay for features you won't get to use. For how good speech-to-text is on a cheap Pebble or Android Wear, it's a shame that Samsung couldn't really translate the Gear experience over to other devices. It's a walled garden approach I don't appreciate. Don't punish me for not owning a Samsung phone. Instead, impress me with how good this accessory is, and maybe I'll consider a Samsung phone in the future. The second issue is a little more philosophical. If your idea of what a smartwatch should be is migrating as much smartphone functionality as you can to a small screen, then the Frontier is hands down the best smartwatch on the market, full stop. However, if your idea of a smartwatch is targeting at-a-glance information in the most streamlined way possible, that a watch should complement a phone